Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm going to explain the product sum method, which you can find on paragraph 3 of your book, chapter 7. It's a new way of factorizing, so basically the same the previous paragraph, but now it's a bit more complicated because we have 3 different things. First, I'd like to repeat how to work out brackets. So if you have in brackets x plus 2 and x plus 3, you need to do x times x times 3, 2 times x, and 2 times 3. So if you do all of that, you get x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x, 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then to simplify that, you can add the 2 and the 3. So you have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now one thing that hopefully you'll notice here is that the 6, this number, is the product of 2 and 3. Product means times. If you do 2 times 3, you get 6. 5 is the sum. Now sum means plus, so when you add these two numbers, then you get 5. Now with the product sum method, we have to do this in reverse. So we don't have the brackets, you actually get that, and then you need to work out, okay, what's in the brackets. So we have a couple of examples, and these two look very similar. Actually, they look a lot similar to this also, because here it's x squared plus 5x plus 6. But here I have x squared plus 5x minus 6, so there you get a different answer. Now in brackets, I need to find out what these two numbers are. There's going to be an x here and there's going to be an x here, but then what's going to be here and there, we don't know. So you need to find two numbers. If you multiply them, you get minus 6. So what you could do is just write down a few things that you can multiply to get minus 6. So for example, we can do 1 times minus 6. We can also do minus 1 times 6. We can also do minus 2 times 3, or we can do 2 times minus 3, right? All of those calculations have a product that is minus 6. But when you add them, when you want the sum of these two numbers, you want that to be 5. So this one is not it, because then the sum is minus 5. So this one is it, because 6 and minus 1, when you add them, you get 5. So the answer here is x minus 1 and x plus 6. Now once you have your answer, you can always check it, because if you work out the brackets now, x times x is x squared, x times 6 is 6x, minus 1 times x is minus 1x, so when you combine that you get 5x, and minus 1 times 6 is minus 6. Yeah, so you always have to find two numbers. If you multiply them, you get that, and when you add them, you get that. So here's another example. X squared minus 5x plus 6. Now some of these examples are easier than others. Right? If there's a minus somewhere, it's going to be more difficult, and when there's not a minus, like over here, it's probably easier. You need to find two numbers now. If you multiply them, you get 6. But when you add them, you get minus 5. So, I don't know if someone already knows what they're going to be, but I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer is minus 2 and minus 3. Because when you add minus 2 and minus 3, you get minus 5. And when you multiply these two, you get 6. Here's another example. Here we have x squared plus 10x plus 16. So you need to find two numbers. If you multiply them, you get 16. So that can be 4 times 4, or it can be 2 times 8. But when you add them, you want it to be 10. So it's not 4 times 4, because when you add that, you get 8 and not 10. So it's 2 and 8. So it's x plus 2 and x plus 8. Because when you do 2 times 8, you get 16, and when you do 2 plus 8, you get 10. Alright, so to repeat it one more time, if you get a question like this, the number in front of x is always the sum, so you need to do plus, and the number next to it is always the product. So you need to find two numbers. If you multiply them, you get that, and when you add them, you get that. So all these exercises are sort of like a puzzle. So good luck.